And it's delighting thousands of locals and tourists in northeast China. Each year, millions of people flock to Harbin to take part in the annual Ice and Snow Festival. In the dark depths of winter in China's northernmost province, a riot of fireworks and twinkling lights sparkle in the night sky. All of the exhibits are built entirely of snow and ice, and visitors are captivated by the displays. The festival, now in its 36th year, is held across 4 ice and snow.
That is incredible. I would love to see that.
That would be a bucket list, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think so too.
Just look at that. Acres and acres. Anyway, that's our time for now. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you back here again tomorrow. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.
And right now, we're looking ahead to the new Amazon facility coming to Beloit. We'll have new details on the timeline and the number of new jobs that will be available.
And we're learning the identity of the man killed over the weekend in Janesville. We'll have an update on the investigation as police continue searching for the suspect.
Plus, Madison police are using a new training tool to help recruits deal with the stress of the job, in a story you'll only see on News 3 Now. We're looking into how it all works.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 5.
And thanks for staying with News 3 Now. Amazon is giving us more information about what's coming to Beloit.
Tonight, we're learning new details behind the project and what it means for the people who will work there. Our Amy Reed shows us how the project is looking now.
Less than 4 months ago, this distribution center was just a twinkle in Amazon's eye, and now construction is well underway. Today, Amazon confirmed they are the company building this space. The city of Beloit is very excited about the project. They said Amazon will hire 500 people to work here. The company said they will start at $15 an hour and offer 401ks, health care, up to 20 weeks paid parental leave, and tuition reimbursement, which the city thinks is a great thing for Beloit.
I think it's incredibly important, the value of a household name right here in Beloit. Everyone knows Amazon. So I think it's just a really exciting opportunity for us to partner with them. We are beyond thrilled to be home to their newest fulfillment center in Wisconsin.
The city's economic development arm estimated about 20% of the workers would be commuting in. Tonight at 6, we'll tell you what that group thinks the city needs to do next to build off this growth. This construction work is set to finish up this holiday season, closing out the project in only 15 months. Reporting in Beloit, Amy Reed, News 3 Now.
To weather now. It was another relatively mild day, but cooler weather is on the way. Let's check in with Gary. Hi, Gary.
Hi. Could even see a couple of flurries tonight as the colder air starts to head in our direction. As we take a look at the time lapse from the WISC Skycam, Madison looking out toward the east, you can see we had bright sunshine for most of the day today. And then as we headed in the latter part of the afternoon, the clouds started to move in from the west. And as we check out Doppler track right now, there are a few flurries, mainly across Iowa into northwestern Illinois. A lot of that not reaching the ground. But it's possible we could see a few flakes of snow, especially late tonight into very early tomorrow morning. High temperatures today, again, above normal. 42 here in Madison. Most areas were right around the 40-degree mark. Janesville topped out at 43. Current temperatures are in the middle to upper 30s, and the cloud cover will keep us from falling too quickly overnight. So by morning, look for temperatures to be dropping into the upper 20s. Tomorrow, skies will turn partly sunny once the flurries end. It won't be quite as mild with a high temperature of 35, but we could actually see below normal temperatures for Wednesday. I'll tell you how cold it'll get in just a few minutes.
All right, Gary, thank you. Janesville police are actively searching for a homicide suspect accused of shooting a man and killing him outside of a home on the 600 block of West Racine Street.
Gabriella Becerra live in Janesville with more information on the first homicide investigation of 2020. Gabriella?
Eric and Susan, the Janesville police are actively searching for suspect Corvacy Weaver, who's accused of first-degree intentional homicide. The police have not been in contact with him yet and say he could be a danger to the public. Police responded to a shots-fired call early Sunday morning following a disturbance at a house party.
After arguing inside, both the victim and the suspect went outside where the argument escalated. Witnesses report the suspect drawing a gun, firing several times, hitting the victim once in the back.
Officials say they found the victim identified as James Chestnut III lying in the road with a gunshot wound to the back. Police say the victim and suspect, Corvacy Weaver, knew each other prior to the party. The suspect ran away from the scene.
From our investigation, we learned that this is a disturbance and a disagreement between two people. So while we feel that Mr. Weaver is dangerous, we don't think that he would pick anyone out in random fashion.
This incident marks the first homicide of the year in Janesville.
Fortunately, here in Janesville, we have relatively few homicides. Our last homicide occurred nearly 12 months ago in January of 2019.
Janesville police are asking that if anyone in the public is to see the suspect, they do not approach him and call their local law enforcement.
All right, Gabby, thank you. Also in Rock County, police have arrested 2 people. This is in connection with the shooting a month ago. December 7th, deputies responded to a shooting on Highway 51 near Prairie Knoll Park in the town of Rock. 1 person was injured. Ronald Hicks arrested today on suspicion of party to the crime of attempted first-degree intentional homicide and recklessly endangering safety. On Saturday, Chicago police arrested Virgil Lee Tate Jr. on a felony arrest warrant for attempted first-degree intentional homicide. The man accused of throwing acid in a Latino man's face during an attack in Milwaukee has been found competent for trial. 61-year-old Clifton Blackwell charged with first-degree reckless injury. It's a case that's being prosecuted as a hate crime. He's due in court again next week.
Today, prosecutors in Los Angeles filed new rape and sexual assault charges against movie mogul Harvey Weinstein dating back to 2013. In New York, Weinstein is being tried for first- and third-degree rape, along with predatory assault. The judge rejected a defense request to sequester the jury. Jury candidates will start filling out questionnaires tomorrow. The goal is to begin seating the jury by next week. The U.S. is bracing for the next move by Iran as the nation ends 3 days of mourning for a top military general. An estimated 1.3 million people filled the streets of Tehran today for a public funeral procession for General Qasem Soleimani. As the period of mourning ends, a U.S. defense official tells CBS News the next 24 to 36 hours could reveal whether Iran intends to make good on its threats of revenge.
The Iranian leadership needs to understand that attacking Americans is not cost-free.
As leaders around the world appeal for calm, Democratic lawmakers in Washington are demanding more details about the decision to take out Soleimani.
Former National Security Advisor John Bolton says he will testify in a Senate impeachment trial if he is subpoenaed. During the House impeachment hearings, witnesses testified that Bolton had opposed President Trump's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani's interactions with Ukrainian officials, and that Bolton directed them to report their concerns to White House lawyers. So far, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says he wants to decide whether the Senate will call witnesses after the trial has already begun. Democratic presidential candidate Andrew Yang failed to qualify for the ballot in the key battleground state of Ohio. The campaign turned in 3 times the number of signatures required to run on the Democratic ballot, but did not include a necessary statement from the candidate stating his intention to run. Yang says, as a non-politician, it is, quote, unfathomable that this could happen. He is launching a write-in campaign in Ohio. Officials at Hamilton Middle School in Madison are offering additional counseling services after a student lost their life in recent weeks. Amy Gannon and her 13-year-old daughter, Jocelyn, were killed in a helicopter crash in Hawaii in late December. Jocelyn was an 8th grader at Hamilton. Experts say this kind of situation is difficult for kids because many of them have not experienced such a close death. Dr. Marcia Slattery specializes in child adolescent psychiatry at the UW. She shares tips for children and their parents. She says, share what children can expect to see and hear at a funeral, including seeing others grieve. They say be an active listener. Check in with your child every day, and remember that dealing with grief for the first time can bring on a lot of confusing emotions and behaviors. Make sure your child feels comforted, heard, and accepted.
The Madison Police Department is providing a unique training for recruits, hoping that it will help improve both performance and coping skills.
Madeline O'Neill tells us how officers are using meditation and why its teacher says the tool is so important. Maddie?
Eric and Susan, I started off this story looking into research being done locally into how meditation can help area law enforcement agency members cope. Visiting the Madison Police Department, I also heard personal stories, including from Officer Matt Kenny. You may remember him as the officer who was cleared of criminal wrongdoing after shooting and killing 19-year-old Tony Robinson in 2015. The young man was unarmed and many Black Lives Matter protests followed. Given Given the sensitivity of the story, we also reached out to Tony Robinson's mother, who is trying to find ways to move forward herself. In the years since, Kenny has become a meditation instructor, hoping to equip new recruits with a tool they can carry anywhere.
Meditation is not just for down-regulating your own body's response to stressful events. It's not just about performance improvement, but meditation can also be very healing, I find. So that's why teaching meditation is important for me.
At the end of the day, I hope that he's able to be at peace with himself so that these situations that have happened never happen again.
Coming up tonight at 10, we'll hear more from Tony Robinson's mother about her search for peace, along with how meditation may benefit police officers and the greater community as well.
I look forward to that, Maddie. Thank you. Next at 5, a Waukesha County family is raising money to bring their little boy home after he died on a Make-A-Wish trip. We'll share how you can help.
And ahead at 6, exclusive video of Madison police officers arresting 4 teenagers driving a stolen SUV. We'll share how officers caught them at 6.
Wall Street, the market start the week with some gains. The Dow jumped 68.5. The Nasdaq adds more than 50. S&P up 11.5. We'll be right back.
Former Packers head coach Mike McCarthy has agreed to a new deal with the Dallas Cowboys. McCarthy is replacing Jason Garrett. Yesterday, the Cowboys announced the head coach wouldn't receive a contract extension after leading the team to an 85-67 record since taking over midway through 2010. McCarthy spent last season away from the NFL after being fired by the Packers with 4 games left in the 2018 season.
Badgers wide receiver Quintez Cephas, he's heading to the draft as well. He made made the announcement this morning, posting a video on Twitter thanking the Badger Nation. He wrote, quote, "It's been a great ride and I'm ready for the next chapter." On Friday, of course, Jonathan Taylor declared for the NFL draft as well. An 11-year-old boy from Waukesha County died during his Make-A-Wish trip on New Year's Day in Minneapolis.
It was Mikey Horace's final wish to shop at the Lego store at the Mall of America. And to top it off, Mikey's brother Jake flew in from South Dakota to be with him one last time. Mikey was diagnosed 15 months ago with a tumor on his brainstem. His mother says he was shopping and doing well, but that's when his health took a sharp decline, and sadly he died in a Minneapolis hospital.
He was a fighter. He never gave up. He told me that he was fighting for his brother Robbie. He was doing this for his brother. He would not give up.
A year ago, Mikey unexpectedly lost his 19-year-old brother Robbie to health issues. On top of the pain of losing 2 sons in 1 year, the family is dealing with the financial burden. They've set up a GoFundMe page to raise the thousands of dollars needed to bring Mikey home to Wisconsin to say their final goodbyes.
A California man is traveling to all 50 states via a very different type of air travel. Harvey Milne is a paramotorist who hopes to raise $50,000 for charity along his trip. He hopes to inspire individuals and companies to donate to local charities. He wants to raise $1,000 in each state. He started his journey in Hawaii in November, plans to end in Alaska sometime between June and July.
Let's get a check on the weather now. Gary, it was nice to see the sun, but things are going to be cooling off from here.
Yeah, we've got clouds coming in, so that'll prevent our temperatures from dropping too quickly tonight, but we will see a gradual cool down in temperatures for tomorrow and for Wednesday. As we take a look at the forecast for this evening, look for skies to gradually turn mostly cloudy. Temperatures will drop off to around freezing by 10 p.m. And you can see to the west there are some snow flurries, a lot of this just not reaching the ground. Surface reports indicate that perhaps some of this snow back here in western Iowa might at least be a few flakes may be reaching the ground. So the best chances for seeing any flurries will be from late tonight into early tomorrow morning. Otherwise, you can see even on high resolution Doppler, maybe a couple of flurries in northeastern Iowa, but again, it's very likely that precipitation is staying aloft. Otherwise, 3 things you need to know in the forecast. Again, a flurry chance by early tomorrow morning. Those should end pretty quickly. We'll turn colder for tomorrow with high temperatures in the mid-30s and be even colder on Wednesday with high temperatures in the middle 20s. We actually might see our first below normal day in temperatures since December 18th. So it has been unusually mild. So far for this month, our temperatures have averaged 13 degrees above normal. We've got some making up to do, and we'll do a little bit of that in the extended forecast. And then on Thursday, we quickly warm up. It'll be windy with mild southerly winds pushing temperatures up into the middle 40s, and we'll see mainly rain on Thursday. And if you look at high temperatures over the next 10 days, we got that brief drop in temperatures on Wednesday, back up into the 40s on Thursday. Temperatures will stay above normal over the weekend, although there are some chances for some snow from Friday night into Saturday morning, and then again Saturday night into Sunday morning. Should we get some snow cover, we might have to revise some of these temperatures next week downward a little bit. There's also a system that could bring us some snow from late Wednesday into Thursday of next week. As we take a look at the live view from the Edgewater Skycam, things pretty quiet in Madison. The skies are starting to cloud up. High today was a mild 42 degrees. Compare that to the average high of 26. Low temperature 25. That's about where the normal high temperature should be. And right now our temperatures at 38 degrees. Skies are mostly cloudy. The wind's out of the west-southwest at 6 miles per hour, and the wind chill is at 33 degrees. Temperatures are in the 20s in northern Wisconsin, upper 30s here in southern Wisconsin. It's actually been a pretty nice day overall, and the cloud cover will keep those temperatures from falling off too much. You can see these clouds out to the west, but not a lot in the way of precipitation other than a few flurries. A little stronger weather system to the north and west. That will probably affect us by Thursday. Eventually, it'll warm us up as the upper level winds become a little more westerly with time. But you can see there's no really cold air anywhere across the Midwest. Temperatures 20s, 30s, 40s to around 50 degrees. For early January, that's still pretty mild. On future track, you can see this little weather system coming through with a couple of flurries tonight, and then we'll see some sunshine for tomorrow. Tomorrow night will clear out, and that will allow temperatures to drop into the lower teens. And on Wednesday, even though we'll start out with some sunshine, clouds will move in. This next weather system will start to pick up the wind flow from the south and southeast. And by Thursday, those winds will be out of the south, and by Thursday afternoon, we could be looking at the possibility for some rain showers. So our forecast calls for mostly cloudy skies tonight, perhaps a few flurries by early tomorrow morning. Clouds will keep our our low temperature up at 28 degrees. For tomorrow, look for a few clouds and maybe a couple of flurries early. Then it'll turn partly sunny and not as mild. Our high temperature still above average at 35. On future track, you can see those clouds overnight. Best chances of flurries late tonight into early tomorrow morning with lows in the upper 20s. Highs tomorrow in the middle 30s. For tomorrow night, we'll clear out, and then temperatures will drop into the lower teens. And on Wednesday, look for the clouds to come back in the afternoon. High temperatures only in the low to mid 20s. 7 to 10-day forecast, we'll see rising temperatures Wednesday night. Thursday, we're back up to 44. It'll be windy with some rain, and then temperatures still above normal into next weekend, but there'll be some snow chances. And then toward the middle of next week, temperatures will turn a little more winter-like. As we take a look at first alert traffic right now, here's the view of the Beltline at Park Street. Traffic moving pretty slowly in both directions. We're seeing some delays eastbound on the Beltline from around Monona Drive back to around Park Street, westbound from around Fish Hatchery Road to near John Nolan Drive. Also seeing some delays on East Washington Avenue. Right now, almost 20 minutes in either direction between the University Avenue and the interstate on the Beltline. As far as heading into and out of Madison, 25 minutes down to Janesville on I-3990, 17 minutes to Sauk City on US 12, and 16 minutes to Sun Prairie on East Washington Avenue, US 151. That's your News 3 Now First Alert traffic.
Thank you, Gary.
Next at 5, a new sleep education class is helping cancer survivors beat insomnia. We'll explain what it includes and how those solutions could help you get the recommended amount of sleep each night.
News
Acknowledging another potential issue with the 737 MAX, the New York Times reporting the company and regulators say there are concerns about the wiring. A spokesman says Boeing is working with the FAA and others to make sure the design is safe. The MAX was grounded in early last year following 2 fatal crashes caused by issues with a different system. Boeing still waiting for regulators' approval to return to flight. New video now of New York Governor Andrew Cuomo rescuing a man in a car accident. According to his office, Cuomo was on the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway heading to the airport when he came upon a large van on its side. Now, Cuomo and his entourage stopped to offer assistance. State police he was traveling with cut the man out of his seatbelt. And you can see Governor Cuomo and 2 other people pulling the man out of the vehicle to safety.
More and more automakers are using CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, as a car show. The show officially opens tomorrow in Las Vegas. One company up first is all-electric brand Byton. They're showing off the M-Byte SUV that goes on sale in the U.S. next year and puts entertainment in the driver's seat. Automaker Ford is introducing a robot that may one day be part of a delivery system that brings packages to your door. The director of the National Institute of Allergies and Infectious Diseases says this flu season is on track to be among the deadliest in recent history. 2,900 people in the U.S. have already died from influenza so far this season. The CDC lists Wisconsin as one of the 34 states experiencing high flu activity right now. Many cancer survivors have a lot of trouble falling asleep or staying asleep.
And now research shows a new approach can help them get a good night's rest. Dr. Malika Marshall has more from Boston.
Ken Giacopo struggles with insomnia, and since being diagnosed with brain cancer 2 years ago, it's gotten worse.
I'm just fatigued constantly, all the time. So it's during the day. So I take cat naps during the day.
The stress of having cancer and the grueling treatments can all impact patients' sleep.
These are all insults to the system that may disrupt sleep that in the short term, people cope with reasonably well, but then as they persist, the consequences of insufficient sleep or fragmented sleep are very real.
So Ken is taking a sleep education class for cancer survivors at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. The class covers good sleep hygiene, such as no screen time before bed and napping less once you've completed treatment. But study author Dr. Eric Zhao says the key is giving patients guidance on implementing it.
A consistent wake time is a very important fundamental element of good sleep. These are the kind of things that we sat down, analyzed, and broke down for each individual survivor.
A new study of more than 50 cancer patients finds over 40% had their moderate to severe insomnia cured after one class. Ken plans to use what he's learned at home.
I can't get anything done. I'm so tired. And so I'm hoping that this is going to help out just a small part of my life.
He says a better night's sleep will mean better time spent with family. Dr. Malika Marshall, CBS News, Boston.
Insufficient sleep, of course, is a big problem for a lot of us. 1 in 3 Americans are not getting the recommended amount of sleep each night.
And stay with us. We'll have another check of your forecast in just a moment.
For an accurate forecast you can trust, watch First Alert Weather.
This is
Tonight on the CBS Evening News, crisis in the Middle East as tensions rise. Is the U.S. prepared if Iran strikes back? Plus, thousands of American troops head to the region. We'll hear from their families as they prepare to deploy. And we'll meet a young cellist not letting anything stand in the way of her dreams. That's all tonight right here on the CBS Evening News.
Finally at 5, a 94-foot putt on the PGA Tour seldom happens. Even more unlikely to happen is that shot on the hardwood surface of a college basketball court.
But there it is. A fan at the Baylor, Texas game Saturday night sank the shot and won $5,000. And of course, his reaction is priceless. Well done.
On the hardwood. You really got to have a delicate touch there. Gary rejoins us. Final check of the forecast.
Well, there are a couple flurries out in Iowa. Those are heading in our direction. You might see a few late tonight into tomorrow morning. Nothing really imminent. Even the snow flurries aloft in Iowa are fading as they head towards southwestern Wisconsin. Temperatures right now are in the middle to upper 30s. Here in Madison, we're 38. Janesville right now, 37 degrees. Temperatures will be in the mid-30s for tomorrow, mid-20s for Wednesday. A cold day first in quite a while, and then back to the mid-40s on Thursday with some rain. Up and down temperatures over the weekend with some light snow chances Friday night and Saturday morning, and Saturday night and Sunday morning.
All right, Gary, thanks. CBS
Welcome
Evening News.
back, by the way.
Good to be back. See you in 30.